All right, so I'm not able to get out to the golf course this week, so I thought I would give you a product review on Arcoss. So Arcoss, if you're not familiar with it, um, is a shot tracker. It also has um, a caddy feature, and the way it works is on your end of your golf clubs, there's a little green sensor that screws into your grip, and when you hit the ball, it listens for the impact, and then when you get to the second, and it knows which club you're using based on the sensor in the club, because you pair the sensors with your app on your phone. And then once you get to the second shot, you have a different club. It does a GPS triangulation and says, okay, you're there. So that means the first shot was X number of yards to this location on the fairway, hopefully. And then it records that shot, and it goes all the way through until you get to putting. The putter actually has its own unique, special, I think, more sensitive sensor. So one of the important things to know, especially if you're doing custom grips, new grips, that you do have the ability to screw something into the end of them. Most grips have the little hole in there, and that's where the Arcoss sensors go. The cool thing is pretty much everything that I'm going to show you on my screen is also on the app on your phone. And one other thing is I want to show you this, which is the Link Pro. It's actually this little guy right here. And this you can keep in your pocket for recording your shots. So there's 3 different ways you can record your shots. Basically, the thing that listens for the impact and knows where you are, GPS. One is you can keep the phone in your front pocket. I'm a lefty, so it's in my right pocket. You can record it with your Apple Watch. You need to have a pretty new Apple Watch because the older ones, the batteries will not last an entire round. And then this is generally the best option, which is the Link Pro. And it comes like this in a charging case. And the charging has been the issue for me. It says it's all charged up. And then I go to use it, pair it with my phone, and it says that the Link Pro is dead. So then I have to switch to my watch generally. But that's fine. The watch works just fine. Just means my battery probably won't last, after the round, which is fine. But it does make it all the way through the entire round. So I would recommend this. This is an additional cost. I want to say maybe when I got it was around a couple $100. All right, so what we're doing here is this is actually the web interface from my rounds. This gives you everything that the app on your phone does, but even more. This is the most recent round that I recorded, which is Camelot. I think it's Let's Play Mudball. Okay, before we dig into the Arcoss screen, I do want to remind you that all of the Shitty Golfer episodes are brought to you by York Team Real Estate, yorkteam.co or yorkteamrealestate.com. For all of your real estate needs in Washington State, please give me a call, DM me, comment, and quite honestly, anywhere in the United States. We're part of a global company, so I know I have viewers in the UK. We have a great network of real estate agents in the UK, and we'd love to connect you with the right people who are producers. So anywhere in the US, the UK, pretty much anywhere in the world, think of the Shitty Golfer, Ray York, for your real estate needs. While we're in the promotion mode, these things are insanely good. There's a link in the description for these. I have to tell you, these recovery gummies, they're 10 calories for that guy, and man, they're tasty. I also have the coffee. It also has the coffee, as well as the mocha mix for your coffee, and the combo is amazing. So it's a standard affiliate program. Please use my link, get 15% off, and great product. I feel kinship to the owner of the company, Phil Mickelson. We're both lefties. I'm a little bit older than him, and he's a little bit better golfer than I am. All right, let's dig in. So one of the nice things about Arcoss is, of course, it has the app on the phone, um, but it also keeps a dashboard for you on the internet. So you can go to the web and browse the same information which is on your app, but even more information. So here we have the round at Camelot. I think it's called Let's Play Mudball. And we can go into that round. We can see that driver shot was 254 yards. Again, the sensor on the driver told Arcoss which club I was using, and then the Link Pro heard the impact of the ball, and then of course told the GPS when I pulled out my 7-iron and made that next impact. You can see each shot by shot, and then each putt. So if you watched that round, you can see this plays along pretty darn well with what we saw there. And then of course it keeps a scorecard for you, shows you, fairway right, fairway left, straight shot, if it was a green regulation or not. My up and downs, my sand up and downs, which was 1 of 2, and then my total putts. So pretty much 2 putted. All right, pretty much 2 putted the entire front 9, and less than 2 putted the entire back 9. So super good. Basically saved my round. So we have the scorecard. We can go hole by hole. See how you did. On that one, of course, I'm reliving the drive, 209. Felt like it was so much further than that, but it wasn't. So it can be a little bit humbling. That second, my provisional on the third, my first shot ended up way out here, so I took a provisional. I believe it shows that I took a penalty there for the provisional. And I played that provisional pretty well. I'm happy with that. So you can see each round that you play hole by hole. And then if we go back to, let's go back to home. And this shows my handicap. Overall, I'm an 18. I don't think that's quite correct. Maybe that's my entire time with Arcoss. My GIN number is higher than that. My driving is not great. It's far, but not accurate. My short game. Oh, these are my strokes gained. Okay, sorry. All right, so this is what this is about. Sorry about that. Is that you set a target to where you want your handicap to be. So I set my target to be 20. And then once I reach 20, then I'll move it down to 15. And this shows you your shots gained or lost to that particular handicap. So now we can see this is overall performance for all of my rounds, me as a golfer. So on par 3s, I'm a 4. It takes 4.4 strokes for me to finish out. On par 4s, that's terrible, 5.7. And on par 5, 6.7, I'm actually kind of, they all need to come down. Obviously, I want to get better. 12% of the time I par, 36% of the time I bogey, and over half the time I double bogey. So this is how we're going to go from shitty golfer, which is the right name, to mediocre golfer, reasonably moderate golfer. It gives you your driving information, your approach game, all of those fun stats. And this is using the past 8 rounds. Now, I think it might show us, sorry, I'm a little more familiar with the, go to the new dashboard. Let's try that. I'm a little more familiar with the, yeah, here we go. This is much more similar to the interface on the app. So my overall game, this being the baseline of a 20 handicap, I'm just about there on my driving, my approach, super bad, my short game getting closer, and then my putting is better, much better than a 20 handicap on the 8-round average, the last 8 rounds. Excuse me. I like this. I like to, because I like my drive so much, I kind of go there first to see how I get on my driving. But these insights are super helpful. So the first one is what to work on. So obviously, my short game, as we can see, I'm losing 3 strokes to a 20 handicap. On my approach game, I have 100 to 150. I'm losing 2 strokes there. And on my putting game, that's a little bit worse than I was expecting. My putting game is pretty good. So this is telling you what's helping you. So on my putting game, on my 25 to 50 foot putts, those long putts, I'm pretty darn good. I'm gaining 2 strokes on a 20 handicap. And then on my 10 to 25 footers, I'm gaining 1.6 strokes. And on my driving game, my distance, my driving game is good because of the distance off the tee. Now keep in mind, I'm 56 years old, and my average drive is much longer than someone my age. We have a whole trend analysis. You can just geek out on this all day long. But now we can see it by the driving game. So I was pretty even over those 8 rounds. My distance versus accuracy, my distance was better than a 20. My accuracy was worse than, and then the penalties, of course, if I'm going to hit it out of bounds, I got to take those penalty shots. And then the app, you can record the penalties, obviously. And I am missing to the right a little bit too much. Not missing to the left, which is funny because being a left-handed golfer, you would think I would slice it to the left. But if anything, I'm hooking it to the right. So I'm getting much better with this. I'm feeling better and better about my drives. If you followed along on the channel, you see I've been working on my grip quite a bit, so getting better. So my average distance off the tee of all clubs is 207, not just the driver. And there you go. So on my approach game where I need a lot of work, and this is where I've been doing the work with the irons and my grip, and we can see that I'm losing 4 strokes to a 20 handicap, but I've improved by 1.5 strokes. So tons of information. It knows if I was in the rough and the sand, fairways. I mean, again, you can completely geek out on this. Short game. You guys don't really care about all of my data on those. And then the putting game. So my last 8 rounds, man, I screwed up the short putts. I was right on the 10 to 25 footers. I was really good on the long ones and really good on the even longer. So 25 and out, really good. 10 to 25, pretty good. And then screwing up the short putts. And that's a problem. I mean, those are the ones I should be hitting. Okay. So another fun thing that I think people care about and are curious about on their game is their club analysis. How far do I hit my driver? So smart distance, my driver is 246. My 3-wood should be better than 210. And my driver should be better than 246. Now remember, this is average. Let's go range. So my driver, if I need to go 236 to 260, that's what I'm going to hit. My 3-wood, 185 to 225. I tend to go, if it's going to be under 200, I'll generally go with my 5-wood. But we can see here that that's maybe a little optimistic on my part. And then if we go longest, we can see the longest with the drivers, 339. With a 3-wood, there's a lot using the last 100 shots, not necessarily rounds, the 100 shots. 3-wood, you can see there, 5-wood, 246. And so on and so forth. I only ever use my 4-iron, or up until this last round. You see, I use my 4-iron and my 7-iron primarily for punching out because there's so little loft on them, which is why my 4-iron is only 120. Because I'm just trying to get it out from underneath the trees. And then of course my 6, my 7, that surprises me. 175, 8-iron, sand wedge. See, and it's good that I'm looking at this because in my head, if it's 100 shot, I'm using my, let's go back to range. If it's 100 shot, I'm using my sand wedge. That's the right club. If it's 1 to 120, I'm using my pitching wedge. 120 to 130, I'm typically gonna go 9-iron. So you can see the 7-iron and the 4-iron kind of get screwed up because again, those punch shots. But here we go. Sand wedge 94. So 90 to 100 is the right club. Anything shorter than 100, I'm going to go with my 64. And then these are some older clubs that I've unpaired. So let's go here. So rounds we've already looked at. We can see that short look on how we did against our baseline of 20 handicap. Again, we can adjust that. Driving, we didn't do great. Approach, we did even worse. But in our short and putting game, we did really, really good. Indian palms, this was one round, right? They're 2 separate 9s, but 1 round. So my driving game was really on. And if you watch those rounds in Palm Desert and Temecula, or Indio and Temecula, you'll see that the drives were pretty great because so much rollout, so much different than here. My approach game, not great, but hey, when I got into my short game, I really did great for me. And then this is again the round in Temecula, right there. Interbay is my little par 3 9-hole right here by my house where I golf a lot. We're trying to really working on my short game, and it makes me do it. So you can go every round you ever record is on here. So you can see I'm pretty much 190, somewhere in there. And now we can go to courses. So those are my courses. I have Bellevue down as my home course. Probably not correct anymore. I don't play there that often anymore. 9 rounds. Well, I guess maybe it's the one I've recorded the most rounds at. So if you want to know how you're doing with any particular golf course, it's all right there. In Rose City. Oh, I didn't know okay, anyway, you don't care. Okay, so my thoughts on Arcoss and if it's worth it. I'll tell you that I really like it, and I rely on the shot distance on my watch a ton. And I don't use a laser rangefinder. Even if you're using the ShotLink Pro, you still get the distances on your watch. So when I'm selecting my club, I'm looking at my watch to see how far I am away. And it shows you, I'll give you a screenshot somewhere over here. But it shows you how if you're playing a casual round, if you're playing a tournament round, it will not give you the playing as information. It'll just give you the straight distances. But in the casual, it'll say it's also recording the wind information, if it's uphill, downhill. It'll say if it's, whatever, 100 to the pin and the wind is in your face, it's playing as 105. So I generally will look at the green numbers. It shows you the front of the green, where the pin is, and the back of the green. One of the cool things about this is the more people who use these, and actually, if you're an Arcoss user or become one, I'll have in the description my information on where we can become, I guess, linked up in Arcoss. Would love to see your rounds. You'll be able to see my rounds. But one of the cool things is on this and also on your watch is that little button right there. And what you can do for the overall Arcoss community is when you are playing, you can go up to where the flag is, hit that button, and that updates Arcoss of where the pin location is. And you'll be able to see on your watch or on your phone, on the app, if someone has done that day, there'll be a little Arcoss symbol next to the pin location. So you'll know if it says it's 105, it's really 105. It's not, the pin hasn't moved. So some of the negatives. One is shot recording is not particularly great. And now I'll give another caveat to that. I use my phone for everything on the golf course. It's recording the round. It's recording my audio. It's giving me distances with Arcoss. It's receiving texts and Slack messages, and so I have to give Arcoss a little bit of grace on that, and that may be just that I'm just doing too many things with one device. But I do find that the ShotLink Pro actually is more accurate than using my watch, and obviously I can't have the phone in my pocket if I'm recording around with it. For me, what I do is I also keep a paper scorecard, so that after the round, after the round drinks and happy hour and whatever, I can go and compare shot by shot on my app with my scorecard and make sure that they are aligned. And if they're not, the app is really, really great at say add a shot, add the penalty, whatever it may be. And then by the time I'm done, my Arcoss is aligned with my scorecard. I would say that's probably the only real negative that I have over it. I think it's one of the coolest things I have. It saves me time not having to constantly be that guy, knowing that the pin's 300 yards out and bringing out my my laser rangefinder. I'm not burning that time or being that guy. And the cost for the system to get set up is really not that much. And then the annual subscription. One of the nice things is when you do renew your subscription, they send you kind of a refresher pack for your sensors, because you may have broken one may have battery died or something. I don't know if they have batteries in them or what. They must. So you get a little refresher pack. You don't get a whole 14 or whatever it is. You get like maybe 5 new ones. And it's constantly improving. They're it's software, so they're always making it better. Yeah, I think it's one of the better things I've purchased for my golf game. I'm a little bit of a gadget geek. Obviously, if you've seen my setup, there's a ton of stuff. I recommend it. I think it's a really, really, really great tool, and I like to analyze my game. You probably like to analyze your game beyond what it felt like. You can actually go back and see actual empirical data on how your shots were, how long your drives were, how accurate you were, and really, really help you improve your game. And you can see based on those curves where you need to really focus. But I know what to focus on, which is why I make myself go to a short par 3 course and get better at that. So I hope you enjoyed it. Would love your thoughts. If you're an Arcoss user, contact info, your Arcoss contact info in the description. And I'll make sure and follow you, you can follow me. That'd be great. And I'd love your feedback on this. If you'd like more content, like a few of my videos that have the most views are my equipment reviews. So I would like to know if you'd like to see more on any particular type of equipment, whether it be clubs. I am likely going to buy a new set of irons this year. Yeah, I'll save that for another video, of course. Yeah, check out the channel, Shitty Golfer, at shitty_golfer. If you're watching this, you already know that. For wellness, these are stupid good. I dare you to try them. Use my link, save 15%. And thanks for watching. Thanks for being here.